Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Oh my goodness, guys. It is day 22 of Tinkmas. Oh my gosh, if you're brand new to my channel and wonder, what is a Tinkmas? We are doing a video every day in December through Christmas, and we're calling it Tinkmas. Isn't that cool and clever? Sure, why not? Guys, we are getting down there. We're on day 22, so we're down to the last 3 videos. Okay, here's the plan. So, Christmas is almost here and it's going to be gone. So, I might even kind of transition from Christmas themes a little, because as soon as Christmas hits and passes, these videos are not going to do so good. Maybe next Christmas they'll get some more views, but you get what I mean. I think it's time to start doing other stuff. And we already did. You guys saw the thumbnail for this one, and hopefully you watched the last video. We made the mini bird feeder, and oh my gosh, that project was so cool. Oh, that we're making another bird feeder. You know what? Because, besides Christmas going on, and I mean, I guess we got New Year's coming up, but besides Christmas and the holiday season in general, I guess I should say, after that, it's just going to be winter. We're all going to be trying to get through the winter. So, what better way to do that than to feed the birds, right? A lot of people feed the birds. Otherwise, this is an awesome gift idea if you want to quick print one of these out, especially if you're a channel member. Let's just get started, guys. Quit stalling, please. Oh, yeah, we're going to do, well, you guys got to see the thumbnail because you guys are from the future. We're going to do a multi-tier feeder. I think it's going to look really awesome printed in silk filament, multicolor, which I say for almost every project because I love silk multicolor. But we're going to do a multi-tier feeder, and I'm going to make mine I'm probably going to use mine for sunflower seeds. Because black oil sunflower seeds are very cheap, and I have a whole bunch of them. Let's just get started. This is going to be such an easy project that I would call it a beginner project. So maybe we'll kind of steer this one toward beginners. So maybe I'll explain myself a little more than usual. So let's jump in, guys. All right, I just pulled one of these cones onto the workbed here. Let's crank up the sides bar here so it's smoother, I think. Or would it look cool? I think we're going to add a little rim on it for a perch, so maybe we better slide this up. We're just winging it. That's what we do here. Oh, yeah, another bird joke, winging it. Oh, wait, I used that one last video. I'll think of another bird joke before we're done. This is gonna even be easier than the last one because I don't know. Well, we'll see. Maybe it won't be easier because we haven't done it yet. So there we go. Look, we just crushed down the cone and flipped it over and made it smooth. So far, so good. Let's grab a Taurus and let's stretch it up about the size of the edge here. But look at how fat it is. That's way too fat. So we can crank up the sides bar. Yes. And the steps bar. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of polygons though. Let's not get too crazy. Look at how smooth that got. If you do the sides and the steps. And this number here, see the tube number? Let's make that to 1. I'm just going to type in 1. Still too big. I'm going to type in 0.5. Thinking. I'm going to go back. I'm going to try 0.7. Okay, let's stick with that for now. You know what? We need to hollow out this cone, but before we hollow it, we got to cut it to the shape we want. So let's grab one of these cutout blocks here. They call them hole blocks, but I call them cutouts. Because I'm a rebel. A tinker rebel. Okay, so we're going to be making little trays. Cone, slanted trays. So let's cut the bottom off this. That's beautiful. So see, we just put the cutout block where we want to cut. And we just select the two objects. We can either hold shift and click objects separately like that. See how they get a little blue ring around them? Otherwise, you can hold the left mouse button down and stretch the little red box over them. Anything that just barely touches the red box will be selected. There we go. See, we have the two items selected. Let's hit Union Group up here. And it's going to chop the bottom off. See? Boing. Okay, look, if we want that on the work plane, the bed, let's hit D. It'll drop it. Look at that. Am I doing a good job teaching? Sure. Okay, let's hollow this out now because we want the seeds to be able to fall into it, basically. So let's duplicate it right here. Boop. You have to say boop. And we're going to raise it up a little bit so you can hold control and then up arrow. Let's raise it up 2 clicks, which is 2 millimeters. By default, your movements probably are on 1 millimeter movement. See down here? But you can change them, which we do often. Okay, now we raised up that duplicate by 2 millimeters, and we could turn it to a hole. So see, any object you can turn into one of the cutouts. That's the beauty. Look at that. That was easy. Hollowing out cone-shaped stuff is like the easiest. Okay, let's do our little deal. Let's slide the red square over it so it selects everything there. And now we can group. Look at that beautiful tray we made with 0 effort. Very slight effort. So let's drop our ring down and have a little looky look. I'm going to hold shift when you're resizing something if you want it to stay uniform. Because see, it's at least staying a perfect circle. Otherwise, you'll start stretching stuff and it'll get like this. The back button's your best friend. Let's go back. There we go. Okay, I'm going to stretch this up so it kind of fits. And well, let's have a look. We're going to have to center it on there. We don't want to create any wacky overhangs. Is that still too fat? I am picturing it. This bird feeder's not going to be as small as the other one. You know what? Just to save filament, we could go down on this a little bit. Let's try 0.6. Yeah. Okay, now let's hit align. See up here? So I selected both objects, and we can align them right here. Boop. And you can also select one of them to be the master. If you don't want one of the objects to move, you can click it. So you would first click the align tool, and then click the object that you don't want to be sliding around. So let's click the purple part. See, that slightly changed what's going to move when we align stuff. So see, when we click this, it's gonna, the blue ring is gonna be the object that moves. I rarely explain that to new people. Just because it takes a minute and, you know, we want a whole diverse range of difficulty levels. I don't know what I'm talking about. Look at that. Now we'll check for overhangs. They're not bad. I think it'll print fine, see? I think it'll be all right. I think we should make them all, what color should we work with today? Let's do this color. All right, we're going to be using the same tray over and over again. But let's make the next part. So, well, we could do it a few ways. Well, maybe it would be easier to use we can use this. The tube. Let's use the tube. Okay, let's set a tube in here. We're going to hold shift and stretch it like we learned. We're going to raise it up. This is going to be the tube where the seeds are going to come down and fill up the feeder. Okay, obviously that's way too thick. We'd be wasting a lot of plastic. So let's first slide this sides bar up so it's smoother. Unless you want it like, you know, there'd be nothing wrong with that either. We're going to make, see, the wall thickness. Let's try 1. Now, I was about to ask, does that mean 1 millimeter? But that's clearly more than 1 millimeter. So, what are they basing that off of? Why is it called 1? Would it have been 1 if we wouldn't have stretched it up? Let's try it. See, I'm learning. So if we left it this size and changed it to 1? Nope, that's still more than 1. Oh, no, it is 1. Yep. See, we figured it out. See? The wall thickness is 1, but see, we stretched it up, so our wall thickness is now more than 1. We're so smart. We just did science. Okay, that was distraction. So let's try point. No, actually, I want a little thickness. Okay. So we're already doing great. Is this too tall? Let's just try it. So we're going to align it. So let's select everything. So see, hit the align tool here. Boop. So any of these black dots are like axes that you could align stuff. The most common ones are would be these two middle ones. So let's say we don't want our purple dish to move. So let's click it to make it the master. And now we can align it with these two. And see, they turn like a lighter gray when it's aligned. Look at that. We are doing so good. Okay, dude, we're going to be like mostly done with the main part in just a moment. That's how easy this is. Okay, let's grab one of these roof thingies. Let's see what it's called. Round roof. We're going to cut a spot so the seeds can come out. And it'll print, since it's an arch, it'll print nicely. So let's slide it through here. Because look, remember, we can make any shape into a hole. So, boop. So look, we can cut right through that tube so the seeds spill out into our dishes. And then we're going to stack a bunch of these on top of each other. And biggity bam. That's how easy it is. Okay, that looks good to me. We have to align it, of course. So let's select the two. Hit the align tool. And let's click on the tube because we don't want the tube to move. Because see, it's already lined up. So this is a perfect example of why you want to click 1 to be the master. Because, look, if I just did this, it was going to move the tube. And we'd have to line the tube up again. But if we click the tube, boop. Now the tube became the master, so it's not going to move. There we go, guys. I'm so happy to explain that to the brand new people. It's kind of a lot to explain, like, in every video if I had to do that. But it's very helpful. And I didn't know that when I first started for, like, months. Okay, what am I doing? Now let's duplicate this. Because we're going to do a 4-way seed spill. See? I just spun it. Booyah. Oh, you know what? I should have showed one more thing since we're doing a beginner tutorial. I like to explain this sometimes too. I'm doing it. I started over. So duplicate. And here's the little arrow to spin it. But look, you can either stay inside the blue circle and it will snap grid to like really useful degrees. See, 90 degrees. But if you're outside the blue circle, you have 1 degree fluent movement. See? So you can still go to 90 degrees, but it's sometimes really helpful to stay inside the blue circle for snap grid like that. Boop. We are very, very special. Now look, you only want to select the stuff you want Because otherwise these are going to cut right through that edge. See? So we only want to select the middle tube and these two cutout roofs. And now we hit group. Look at how beautiful that is. Is that plenty thick? Did you see on the little mini bird feeder, the printer nozzle knocked one of my walls off. But this one's not going to be as small, so I think we'll be fine on that. I hope. Or should I just add some? Should I just add supports now? See, look, I'm going to spin our whole model using our thing that we just did by staying in the blue circle. I'm spinning it so one of these walls is right there. Hey, wait a minute. Why does that one look thinner? Just the perspective. Fine, let's add some supports. You talked me into it. I meant reinforcements. Okay, let's just grab a little triangle looking thing. What's it called? Wedge. Let's grab a wedge. And turn it purple, because that's so important. And let's slide her in there. This is what I did on the other bird feeder, which it was worth it. Let's shrink this way down, and then let's make it kind of subtle on this one. Sometimes I turn objects into a hole just to be able to see if it's touching. Because see, look, right now it's not touching, but it's hard to tell if it's touching. So I turn it to a hole, and then when it is touching the wall, look, it turns dark like that. Makes it really nice. We can make it kind of subtle on this one. How about like that? Okay. So now we can just duplicate it. Pull it down here. You could either just flip it around with the arrow, or you could hit the mirror tool right here. Because see, you can mirror it a couple different ways here. See, if we mirror it this way, we're golden. Okay, now we can select both of them and duplicate both at the same time. See? Boop. And now look. Stay inside the blue circle, 90-degree spin. We must not have had... Something must be off, because look, this one's not touching. Does that mean we are no longer lined up here? Let's check. Yep, see, something was off. Can we check on something? I think something screwed up with these cuts here. These are not aligned, are they? Did you guys forget to align these? Can I blame the audience? Look! I think I forgot to align this. Look, this is not aligned. See, this was, I was just giving an example, you know, of how easy things can go wrong. But look at how fast we fixed that. I just had to align that one deal. Okay, we're back in action, so let's check on our things now. See, no harm done. Maybe. Okay, let's check if this is still aligned. It's always good to check, see that was not aligned. But look. Look at how beautifully aligned they are now. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's select them. Duplicate. We're back in action. Spin 90 degrees. And there we go. So now we can turn them, you know, we'll turn them back into solid. And group them with the tube. See, that was good that we fumbled, because we showed how to fix it. Look at that. We have great supports there. That'll be fine. Yeah, that'll make it stronger. So look, guys, now all we have to do is this. We just... Oh, another idea too. We could spin them. We just duplicate the whole thing. Raise it up to where we want it. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, these ones have to have a hole cut in them. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Okay, that's easy enough. Okay, we just have to cut a big old hole in here so the seeds can fall through. But not the very bottom one. But we don't want to cut our little supports. Okay, I think something like that'll work. We just have to align it, of course. No big deal, no big deal. Okay, there we go. Now we can... Yeah, let's try it. So let's group everything together and see, that's going to cut a hole in there. See, this is the process. Trial and error. There. See, now let's put her back over there. Because we need the seeds to be able to fall through to the next layer. But just not the bottom one, of course. Okay, let's set this up on there. Where do we want it? There's not an overhang in there, is there? Let me see something. Oh, there is an overhang. Why do we keep running into issues? Okay, so... Okay, we got to do one more thing, guys. That's funny. This is going to be a simple, super simple project. We have like a space shuttle by the end of it working. Okay, let's hit ungroup. This will be easy, though. This was going to be a kind of nasty overhang. We don't want overhangs. We don't want any... We don't want to use supports when printing this. So watch this. We can fix it. It honestly would have been better if we just had the hole the same size as this. Okay, there we go. That's close enough. Oh, yeah, actually, there. That's perfect. See, if you ever see it flashing like that, kind of whack, that means it's exactly the size. So, there's only one more problem, guys. Look, if we cut through here, our stupid reinforcements are going to get chopped off. So, we just have to slide them. We got to put them on the outside of the walls. Oh, dear. Okay, so let's do that. Let's first get that out of the way. We can ungroup stuff and keep working on it. See, so you can hit ungroup. And we'll have to ungroup these. And see, we could do the same thing. Just put them on the outside of the walls. Let me do that quick. Okay, duplicate, spin. See, easy as that. Turn them to solids. There we go. Hey, that looks fine too. It looks kind of good. Now, we can center this puppy in there and chop a hole. See, crisis diverted. What am I doing? Okay, select what we want and align. Let's see if it lines up nice. There we go. Now we're back in business. Okay, we can just group this whole thing together now. So select everything. And look, it's going to cut a beautiful hole. There we go, guys. So much for... Wait. Uh-oh. How is that one... Look, this one wasn't part of the party. How is that possible? Okay, let's group it in there. There we go. Now it's all one object. Okay, now we can start stacking these puppers. And see, there won't be... Oh, there still is an overhang, though, because of this. My goodness gracious, guys. There still is an overhang right there. Oh, my gosh. This is not a beginner. This is a professional. What if I do this? Ungroup. I'm going to keep ungrouping this bottom part till we get our cone back. Watch this. Boop. Look at that. Let's remove this cutout block. I have screwed up so many times in my life. I know how to fix it easy. Look, I just went all the way back until this was a cone. Let's select the cone and just this cutout and group them. Because that will hollow the cone. See? Did we already fix it? Now we just select this middle tube and, well, pretty much everything except this bottom one. Group. There we go. We fixed it. Oh my gosh. Now that's not a... Yeah, we did. So much for beginner, right? That's cool, though. That shows kind of how you can problem solve and troubleshoot. Because, look, this is all... this should be one object now with no overhangs. Let's hit back so it goes back there. Here, let me make sure it's still lined up here. Okay, yeah, it's perfectly lined up. Because, see, the seeds will stack up on the bottom. And as they keep stacking up, they're going to spill out on each layer. So, see, we just figure out where to put... Let's see if we're happy with where our layer's at here. Yeah, let's just put it right flush like that. Okay, because now we can just duplicate it and raise it up. See, if you want to raise stuff fast, you can grab this little black cone right here, see? And pull with your mouse. Otherwise, you could do the control up arrow also. See, look at multi-tier. And look, we could just keep going. See, now that we moved that one to where we want it, and we haven't deselected it yet, you can hit group again, or duplicate again, and it'll just add another one. See? Let's stop there with 4 tiers. Otherwise, wait, it might be too tall already. Nope, we're still good. Okay, I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. I had to step away and do some stuff for a while, so where were we? Oh yeah, we struggled, and then we fixed it, right? Let's check it out, make sure we're all good. No overhangs. Beautiful, beautiful. Seeds can go all the way down. I was thinking too, if this is like needs to be a little wider, we could change the shape of it now that it's all a working unit. So by that I mean we could like stretch it out, but then crush it down. See, that might be a better shape. Let's see if we're still within 200. Ooh, barely. I hope I have time to print this. Let's go down. We're going to have to make it a little smaller. Channel members, if you print this out, you could stretch it up to a bigger size if you want. Let's go. Okay, how about 180? There we go. Okay, we just need to make a lid for it, and we're golden, guys. Which is similar to Golden Girls. Huh? Is that a good joke? Huh? Okay, stop stalling. Let's go ahead and grab a cone. We're going to make a cone roof. Bam, done. Just kidding. We can make it a little better than that. Should we add, let's see. What if we do, let's duplicate it. Flip one over. For some reason, we might need another one. So let's put one over here. Holy cow. I'm going to go back to 1 millimeter movements. Would this look like a good bottom ridge? Meh. Kinda. What if we did this, guys? Let's just see what this would look like. Watch this. We're going to duplicate this bottom one. Raise it up a little bit. And also make it smaller. So hold shift and shrink it down. How about like that? Now keep hitting duplicate. Look it. We just did something. Okay. I hope that didn't add too many shapes, but that added some nice texture, didn't it? See, we have some nice ridges. And see, these lines here point, you know, curve upward, so they are also not overhangs. So it's just kind of some cool texture. Let's see if it groups nicely. We definitely added a lot of polygons there, but let's see. So I'm going to cut this. We got to cut this whole bottom off. See, like that. Oof. Okay. I just thought we'd do something a little different here. Okay, let's group it and see if it behaves here. Oh yeah, that grouped pretty fast, so I don't think we'll have a problem with that. So let's make it purple. It's probably too big at the moment, but let's go ahead and hollow it out, which I saw that coming, so that's why I gave us this one. See, once you've been doing enough of these videos. Yeah. Okay, let's hollow it out. We're going to align them. Bam. Let's see how thick it is. That's pretty thick. We don't need the roof to be that thick. So all we have to do is, I'm going to hold Shift and Alt, and we can stretch this. See, then we can see if you wanted it super thin, it'd be like that. Let's try it like that. Okay, group it together. That'll cut that bottom out. Look at that absolute beaut. Wow, that's good. That's good. And now we could change the shape of it to whatever we want. I like. So we need just a couple more things and we're done. I thought this was going to be like a super basic design. And look, it's getting not so basic. Okay, we need to make attachment points for the deals to tie some wire. Because we're going to do this one a little different than the last one. I think we're going to do it a little easier, maybe. Let me think. I think we should just do it a little easier. Like, just make it function awesome. Right? Yes. So let's take a triangle wedge. I'm trying to remember the names of these. I just call them whatever they look like. Let's check it out. Let's bring a wedge up here. Make it a lot smaller. We're just going to make a spot to attach a rope. Like a wire or thin rope. Ooh, I do have some like paracordy stuff though. So maybe we should make the hole kind of big. I have no problems with that, but it doesn't really need to stick inwards so much. So why don't we quick chop some off? See, this is the process, you know, when you're making something brand new and you have no, I don't come on here with a plan, so we got to do a little trial and error, you know. Okay, group it together. So see, we just got a little shape like that. I'm going to ungroup it and slide that out a little more. Let's try that. Okay, I like it. Let's turn it purple so it blends in. All right, let's cut a hole through it. So let's grab one of these. And we could set it right on the side. And then shrink it way down. I want a pretty decent sized hole though, so I'm going to leave it kind of fat hold. Whoops. Okay, let's stretch it through like that and sink it down in. See? That should be good. Let's just group them two shapes together. There. Now let's align this with this tube. We want to make sure it's lined up, so let's hit align. Click on this for the master. Okay. Now we can duplicate it and slide one to the other side. Now we can just hit mirror. Boop and boop. Beautiful. If we want them exactly the same, group them together first. Then align them with the whole deal. There we go. Okay, that's awesome. So now, watch this. I got an idea. I've done this before, actually. So, see, in a different video. So that's what I'm saying. We're learning. I'm going to pretend I have a pretty thick rope coming up from these. Like, let's say we tied a rope onto that, right? Or looped a rope through or something. Oh, I know what we could do. We could put a kind of thick paracord through, tie a knot, and then it wouldn't be able to... Oh, but then it would be coming out one side. We got to figure out where the rope's going to come up. Yeah, okay. So then the rope would come up over here. So, like, let's say we stuck the rope through and tied a knot. Then the rope would come up on the side like that. Okay? This will all make sense in a second. Or 40 seconds. So let's put one over here then. Slightly new concept here, but this will work. This will work. Okay, let's put it on the opposite side so the ropes are kind of even. Now watch. Let's bring our roof up. We're going to cut them holes right through our roof. Do-do-do. Okay, let's turn our roof into a hole so we can see what's going on. We're going to align it with this whole structure. Let's line it up with the feeder. Okay, now let's lower it till it just starts to touch. Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to slap it on there. Oh, wow. It's super gigantic. It's covering... Does that mean we don't need this whole top? Okay, yeah. See, we came into another design flaw. But we want a rain guard. I think we're going to get rid of this top thing. This is embarrassing. Okay, can we keep this tube but get rid of... Let's see if we could just get rid of all of this stuff by ungrouping. Let's try. See, till we assembled it, I didn't see that coming. Okay, watch. We could start deleting stuff. A boop. A boop. Right? We can ungroup one more time here. There. Oh, this might be easier than I thought. Look. We're almost done. Boop. And look, we can group these two together. Look at that. We just erased that top one without an issue. Okay, let's drop our lid back down and pretend that we know what we're doing. We could still make the lid smaller, but the whole point is this is supposed to be a rain guard. You know? Let's make it squatter. But we don't want to make it too squat or it'll be a pretty bad overhang for the printer. We are going to print this lid separate, by the way. So see, the lid is going to come on until it hits in real life. Like you're going to set it on and it's going to hit about right there. Okay? That looks awesome now. Okay, so we could turn this back to a solid. And look, see, we'll just group it with this. And that's right where the strings will come out. That was at least a good idea. Group. And we're done. Let's have a look. Let's make sure. Because see, this will pop up. This will slide up the strings. So you can pour seeds right in here. Dude, if you had a watering can that had a big enough hole, that would actually be pretty awesome. We could print a big old a seed filler, and it's going to fall down. The seeds will fall down and fill it. They'll start spilling out, and then it'll clog up, and then start filling the tube, and they'll fill all these. Easy peasy. Okay, we're going to have to print this stuff separate. Let's see if there's any issues here. Let's check the bottom of this, make sure it's nice and flat. Everything's fine. These very slight, these sharp edges might print a little weird. We'll see, though. We could have just went with a cone without them rings, but that added a little bit pizzazz. Otherwise, I think we're good. Awesome. That was fun. I hope it didn't take too long. Let's see. Oh, I had to shut the recording off. I don't know how long it took. I had to do 2 recordings. Or whatever. I paused the first one or ended it. Okay, guys. Let's send it to the printer. Alrighty, holy cow, guys. I have it finished. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. No! Dude, are you kidding me? Look at this thing. Oh, the lighting's kind of weird. Oh, here. I'll have to put it way in the back. Oh my gosh, look at how this turned out. So this is decent size. So it's still like kind of mini, but it's like more of a usable size than the ornament one. Look at this. So the thing that worked perfectly fine to to tie the knots like that, like we wanted, and then the ropes just go right through. Bam! Holy cow! Here, I gotta raise this lid up so I can have more room. Dude, this is the best. This is that awesome color changing filament that I use a lot. It's a silk color changing that I get on Amazon. Let me see if it does. Is the brand on there? Yeah, it's called Silk Rainbow, I guess. It didn't have a brand on the spool. Dude, this is great. Let's add some seeds and see how it works. Where's my seeds? I actually lost my seeds. This would be another good one if you wanted to use it as a treat feeder too, because it is, you know, well, or you could just size this up and print it bigger. That would work perfectly fine too. All right, let's see if I can fill it up with this. Oh, geez. Kind of confined spaces here. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm spilling a little. Let me do this where I can see what I'm doing. I can see they're already spilling out into the bottom thing. Dude, look, of course. See? Here, let's get you guys in there. It works perfectly. They spill out. All I did is shake it a tiny bit, and they you know, each side has them 4 big holes. So as they eat more seed, it'll keep spilling out and they can pick it out of there. It's perfect. Hey, it's got a little weight to it now. So it held a couple cups at least. So this is a usable feeder. Like I said, you could just print it bigger if you had a bigger printer. I could have printed it a little bit bigger myself too, but oh my gosh, I love it. It might be my new favorite bird feeder. I don't know, yesterday's was super awesome too, but this one's a little more usable. I do have the other one outside though. I'm gonna put this one outside. All right, guys. If the video does well, hit the thumbs up on it if you want more bird videos, because this was awesome. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.